Welcome back to the Talkaholics Podcast. This is Razia.
This is Iman.
And we're back, guys.
Hello.
After forever. We say that every time. But this episode's a good one. Probably going to be one of the last ones for the year.
Yeah, definitely will be the last one for the year.
Yes. Yeah, Iman's like, no, this is the last one. But by the title, probably suggests that this is a wrap-up episode. So we're going to go through all the lovely things that happened in our second year of the pandemic. We love this. Second season. Came back with a lot more interesting things.
Going in for season 3.
We love to see it. We're just going to go through and honestly casually go back and forth and talk about what we liked about this year, what our resolutions are for next year, and then talk a little bit more about what to expect from Talkaholics Studios in general.
Yeah.
But I think first we're going to start off with what our favorite moments were of this year. So Iman, you can take it away.
Yeah, okay. I feel like this year was good for being in a pandemic, or at least
it was better than last year. Is
what I'm trying to say. 2021 wasn't I feel like not as dark as 2020, or at least the summer wasn't as dark. Summer 2021. Anyways, my favorite moments of the year, I would have to say my number one would be my trip to Vancouver.
Yes.
Much needed. It was really nice. I'm really grateful and that I was able to go and enjoy and just have a jam-packed week and a bit of just straight fun.
Yeah.
And then I came back so exhausted, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
My second favorite moment, which actually just happened 2 weeks ago, was finally finishing my master's.
Let's go.
I'm not going back to school. Well, hopefully. Let's all hope.
Yeah.
I'm not going back to school, at least for a little bit.
No.
And then I have to say that I'm really glad, alhamdulillah, that I have not gotten COVID.
Yes.
And no one in my immediate family has gotten it, and I think that's something that I'm really grateful for. We've tried to be as careful as possible while still living our lives. So, and it's really sad to hear about when people around you or anybody has gotten sick.
It's scary.
So I have to say, alhamdulillah, hasn't happened, and inshallah won't happen, and we'll exit these seasons without it.
Yes, waiting for that finale. Cannot wait for the
the most awaited.
The most awaited finale.
Season finale. Series finale, not season. Series.
Series. Correct.
What about you?
For me, my resolution for this year actually was to put a lot of my art out there and to start creating more consistently. Literally the second January of 2021 hit, I had opened my agenda and was here are all the things you're going to do, Razzie, and here are all the prompts and all the days to post on. And I was really organized, and I can say I'm really proud of everything that I've made in the past year that I posted personally. It made me realize, up to this point, I was creating a lot of this stuff just for myself, behind the scenes, or as gifts for other people. And it's so interesting, as soon as I was posting my Instagram more often, how many of my friends, especially outside of high school growing up days, didn't know I did art.
Yeah, because you keep it super low key.
You was yeah, of course.
I know because we see each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely should take advantage of socials.
I know, but it was just, it was one of those things that you don't think about that, and I feel I talk about art all the time, but I just make the assumption everyone knows.
Because you've always been artistic. Ever since I've known you, through high school, you are I'm always think Razia art. That's art and fashion. That's what I think about.
Love to see that. But yeah, that felt really fulfilling and something I want to take into next year. And my second thing was travel also too. I mean, I didn't go anywhere crazy, but I managed to do a lot of local things like Blue Mountain for the first time.
Oh yeah, that was so cute.
Yeah, and all with different friendos. So it was so nice to finally do something like that. So Blue Mountain happened, Montreal happened, and then we got to do a little downtown excursion. Iman and you probably will see that on socials already.
Oh, yeah.
Probably at this point, I think.
Probably.
Or if not, just tune in. You'll see it on our story or TikTok. That's been really good to find ways to travel safely, but also maintain my mental health somehow.
Yeah, it was just something to do, something just for us, to kind of decompress.
I know. Well, it's still scary to kind of cross borders. And all those things were kind of new experiences, for me, in some ways. So that's been great. And then I think I feel I learned a lot from the first year of pandemic and how to you know, maintain a social life and also keep my sanity. So a lot of my favorite moments are just like the late night conversations with friends, or playing video games, or just like doing the crazy things that we did to keep each other company. And like realizing like how much life is more than just like your 9-to-5 work schedule.
Oh yeah.
Like pandemic has taught everybody that, I think.
Yeah.
That life is not work. So.
Yeah. And I think that like we have done a good job of realizing that. I think millennials in general, and I guess a little bit of Gen Z now, they're getting old enough to understand that.
Yeah.
But I think that people who are kind of older people are starting to realize that as well. Like there's so much more to life than just doing your job. But also a lot of us have the privilege of being able to figure that out. I remember seeing a post about like immigrant parents and how the children of immigrant parents have the
I know the one. I know.
Yeah, like we're able to like go for our dreams.
It was that immigrant parents did everything for survival, and we're doing everything for self-actualization, which is such a privilege.
Yeah, we're very privileged.
Yeah, we can choose jobs based on fulfillment and whether it makes us happy, or if our skill set is right for it. Whereas that was not the case at all. Like that was not even part of the decision. Yeah, it's just I think everyone's waking up. Like the whole anti-work thing is happening, like on Reddit and things like that. But I think it's more about the fact that like people are just had enough with like what life used to look like traffic in the morning, you know, all your whole day spent. And for most people, it's not 9 to 5. It's often more. Like
because
your
you're
boss
commuting or
you
whatever.
After the fact,
that too,
like, you know. So.
Yeah, there was that whole thing that came out. I don't know if it's really against the law now, but I saw a post about how it's like, quote unquote, against the law for your boss to reach out to you after hours.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I don't know if that's being done, but
yeah, that's more or less it. And I just want to keep that same you know, framework of mind coming into next year of like, no, you need to like work is a great thing. But
yeah, I think it's really about like no one will advocate for you better than yourself. So if you don't push for, you know, like boundaries in the workplace, like you do your work during work, and then your time is your time. If you don't push for that, it's not going to happen.
Exactly. No, it's 100%.
And I'm like the poster child of not being able to say no to people.
This is something I've learned recently, probably more in my life than I thought.
I can't. Like it's literally, it's really a skill. I was telling you, it's a skill to say no to people. And I don't have it. I don't have that skill.
It's tough. It's a thing you got to learn. It's a thing you got to learn. But yeah, we're getting there.
But yeah, I mean, like, so moving forward, if we talked about, you know, what we've loved about this year, but now moving forward, I know you said resolution. I know, and I've said this in the podcast before, I don't really do resolutions. I don't do them. I will not follow through. Yeah. So you can tell me your resolutions. Okay. I'll talk about, you know, what I'm looking forward to next year. If there's much to look forward to with freaking Omarion.
Omarion
coming in, but
shout out to him. Resolutions for me, I wanna continue the art stuff I've been doing. Like it's one of those things like fitness. Like if you work that muscle, you got to continue working it. Otherwise, you forget.
That's very true.
So I, as someone who's like taken a considerable break in the past month and a half, I feel it now. Like just losing grip of like my digital art skills. So I want to get back and do more strategic things. Like not just feel the need to like post every so often, but make bigger pieces. Focus on commissions to like start getting paid for more of my work. And then posting those pieces, and then like TikTok was fun. That should have been something I should have mentioned it as part of like my favorite moments of this year. Is just like putting out random stuff. Like I wasn't really thinking about like my speed paints or like time lapse of me drawing. Yeah. And just people responding to that was really cool.
I find those so cool because you can see like how I find it so fascinating to watch artists do their work because like it's so detailed. Yeah. And like when you look at the final piece, you don't realize how much detail goes into it. But when you see those, even though the time lapses go like really super fast, obviously, but like just to see like each stroke or whatever like thought that goes into making a piece, it blows my mind all the time. Yeah.
There's like bigger projects I want to finish like under the umbrella that maybe will come to life next year. We'll see. So that's one resolution, but the theme of next year for me has to be physical and mental health. Like I think I gave myself a crutch of the first 2 years of pandemic of like, oh, it's a pandemic, everyone's on survival mode. Yeah. You know, you can't expect so much of yourself. Gyms are closed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We know the story. And given that we might be headed into another lockdown, like I'm still being forgiving of myself, but like I don't want to give myself the excuse so much anymore, to be like, oh, it's just the times. I'm gonna try to focus on that as much as I can. But yeah, those are the two primary things. I think I have experience from the past years and pandemic to feel like equipped like into the next year is not as scary.
I think I agree. I think that the one thing that's scarier about this time around is that this new variant spreads a lot quicker, and I know there was talks about how it's not as deadly, but I also saw something that said that's not true. So at this point I don't know what's right, what's wrong, and maybe by the time this episode comes out there's new information, like but the numbers are rising really, really like rapidly, and that's very scary. But I'm hopeful that going into the new year, hopefully it will we'll pass this hump. And I don't know, I'm looking forward to, like you said, mental and physical health. I think it's very important. I think it's easy for us, especially during the winter season, to fall into this like slump
of hibernating.
Just like, because we stay inside, especially if we're going into another lockdown. We stay inside. We're scared to go out.
You're
it's cold.
Eating. That's all I do.
Yeah, it's like literally we're hibernating. We're stuffing ourselves and staying inside. And I think that for my personal self, I need to do better at like a holistic, healthy lifestyle. Being conscious of what I'm putting into my body, and also being conscious of moving my body in whatever form throughout the day. Because I feel like that it makes you feel better at the end of the day. It's not really about what you look like or anything like that, but it's like it helps with your well-being internally and externally.
The thing that really wrecked me the past few years was the lack of routine. Like how all of that got dropped. All of us were sent home for work. We didn't have to wake up as early as we did. We didn't have to put like a face on or get dressed. Like that for me, I mean, at first you're like, yes, amazing. And I still love not having to commute. But I realized like with how I felt in the morning, or like what, how productive I was, or, I found that like in regular work days, if I'm dressed and ready in the morning, I'm much more likely to see people or do something after. So it was incentive to like go do more things outside of work. So I mean, that's the huge thing you got to bring in back to your own schedule, is like, if you like, I'm trying to do yoga in the morning more often, and that's something that doesn't depend on a gym being open.
There's so many things you can do at home. Exactly.
Right? If you have a mat, that's like literally just do that for yourself to at least stretch your body, even if you're not like breaking a sweat. I recommend, if this is also your goal to do physical activity and that kind of stuff, just get a Fitbit. Just get something that tracks you and holds you accountable for this stuff. Because that's what's helped me a lot. Because I know you have an Apple Watch.
I have an Apple Watch, I like just seeing, my ring is getting closed.
Yes. It's such an... I'm the type to, like, if it's gamified or there's gamification around it, I'm like, I want to beat my high score.
That's too, if you're someone who likes to play a lot of video games, there's so many, like, games that involve physical activity.
That's you?
Like Just Dance.
We know this. Or any VR related thing. Exactly.
Got you sweating. Flashback to the episode we did where it's like 420 hours of Just Dance.
Oh my god. Everyone clicked on it because of the video, because of the fucking title, and had to do with me, okay? So whatever.
Anyways. But yeah, so I guess other than that, I'm hoping that going into 2022, when we get closer to like summertime, I feel like we see this trend where the winter we see like cases rise and we kind of have to like lock down, and then it kind of gets better. So I'm hoping that it gets better in the summer and I'm able to travel again. I really, really hope and pray, because I really want to, I have plans in my head and I want them to happen. So hopefully, if it's safe, and we all have our boosters and
boosters the next thing.
I really would love to travel. And I'm really looking forward not going back to school. Like I mentioned this before, but like I was thinking back at it, and I was like, I literally have not ever not been in school since I've started school at 4 years old.
Yeah, which is crazy to me. Yeah,
I have been in school since, and I haven't stopped. And ever since I hit university, I haven't not
taken a break.
I've always worked and been in school since my undergrad. Like there was never just one or the other. So I'm excited to just be working.
I'm excited for you.
And then my brain can kind of focus on other things.
Yeah.
Like Talkaholics and others projects I have on the side.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think the other thing too, if you're still listening to the podcast, you're probably like, well, guys, I mean, it's great that you have personal lives going on.
Right? Like, we don't care.
But also, I mean, if you're tuning in still, it means that you're probably like, well, the past year, Talkaholics wasn't nearly as active as the previous years, and you would be correct.
Yeah, but you know what? They're correct, 100%. But you know what? I have to say that I'm proud of us because we have been, I think we're going on to 4-ish years. I can never keep track of when we actually started.
Yeah.
And we never really took as large of a break as we did this year.
Yeah.
So for us to like pump out the amount of stuff we pumped out in the past, 3-4 years, it's pretty good.
It's incredible. No, honestly, and I'm proud of ourselves for taking the break. Like, unless, I mean, you're likely part of our personal lives if you're listening.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so much that happens on the side that both of us are the type to always have like a side hobby, side hustle, on top of a job, on top of school, on top of whatever. So for us, I think it was much needed. And, just looking back at our channel, like previous to recording this, like the quality of content has definitely increased because we had the time to plan and to bring on guests and to think about, okay, like instead of one-off episodes, what about series? What does our brand look like going forward? So that for me has been really good. And especially coming into next year and thinking about the future of the studio or the podcast is that like, that should be, in my opinion, should be the focus, right? Is more strategic decisions versus what we used to do is like feeling the need to post weekly.
Which was a lot. I don't know how we did that.
Which I zero idea. We clearly love talking. I don't know how
right. Well, we're called Talkaholics.
Yeah. It's on Reddit. But just and some of those episodes, most of those episodes are almost an hour long, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I think if I can pick some of our favorite content this year, I think as much as I love that we started and have really done a great job with Boss BIPOCs, I still really love that TikTok showdown episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say the exact same thing. Oh my god! Wow, we think so alike.
Oh my, it's like we own the same thing.
It's like we're on the same podcast.
Maybe we're co-hosts.
It's like we created the same. Anyways, no, I agree. I really enjoyed the TikTok showdown, and I enjoyed like any of our game show-esque type of things or like. Yeah, little games like we did Quiplash and a couple other things, and like those were so difficult because we did them all online over Discord.
This was too, yeah,
the TikTok showdown. So it was difficult. Like the audio might not be the best. It might not be the best like quality with video and everything. Yeah. But it was so much fun. I enjoyed it so much.
That it's one of those things where like oh my god, and just like. It's two-sided. Our two guests, like thanks to Misbah and Roshi for attending that episode and having just as much fun. And they came prepared for it. They wanted to win. Like it was like a great thing that they're both competitive in that nature and are on TikTok all the time. Yeah. I know that because I get sent stuff all the time from them. But they had just as much fun and like came out of that saying like, Rosie, that was so fun. Like, thank you for inviting me, blah, 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 all this stuff. But it was also just a reception of it, of like the fact that we put it on the stories. Yeah, the interaction from our followers. I love that. And that they were just as on top and just as opinionated to be like, "What? This one won over this?" And I was like, "Well, you gotta vote."
Also, didn't I win?
Did you?
Was it me?
I think you might have.
I want to say it was me.
I don't remember. I don't think Miss Moore. Yeah, it might have been you. I wasn't participating. I was the host.
I'm a TikTok queen.
There we go.
Although I don't post on TikTok. I just consume.
That is the point. But something like stuff like that I was just telling Iman is that I think for us to create content and easy content that doesn't take a lot of planning, which like a Boss BIPOCs, for example, does take a lot, is like reaction type videos, because we are the two people who send each other content and like tweets or like funny shit online that like, I mean, we could just share with you and show you what we like and laugh about it together. So stuff like that is something I want to continue doing forward. But yeah, and then of course Boss BIPOC is Boss BIPOC is definitely a lot more about like, if I think back to our initial intention with this podcast, is a lot more down that road of like it being more about a cause and representation, that kind of stuff. But.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to meeting new people.
Yeah.
Because our last 2 guests, like, we've known, we've
really
known them in some capacity, but like, yeah, it'll be nice to meet like complete strangers, hear about their work, and I'm excited for, you know, the array of people that we'll be able to speak to through that.
Yeah.
I also agree. I would love to do reaction videos. And like I love game show stuff. You know me. I love it.
You know me that I love hosting and planning that shit. I'm the type to be like, yeah, let me be a game show master.
I love game show stuff. I was telling Razia I would love for us to do our own spin-off of Silent Library with our friends. Whenever we have the time and the production value,
exactly, the space, the money, all that stuff.
Well, it'll be coming. We will do it. It'll be hilarious. I will not be able to keep a straight face, or keep quiet.
Oh my god!
But I think that'd be really fun. And yeah, and just in general, more interviews. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want us to do that.
Yeah, I think. I mean, and you guys can let us know like what you'd like to see from us. We always ask this question and always put it out to you guys, but the more I find that our content is interactive, because I mean, it's one thing to do a podcast and then at the end go like, leave a comment, you know what I'm saying, versus like the TikTok one as a perfect example of like it being posted on a story, is that it gives you like, that was like real time, like we waited for people to respond, and then on the episode itself you saw who won. So like things like that involve everybody and then kind of incentivizes people to tune in to watch the results.
Yeah, exactly.
Is like the best thing ever. Not a lot of we're small enough to be able to do it, so like not a lot of other channels can. And then hopefully with like if travel is more of an option in the future, to do more of like vlog style type stuff on the fly and like not really thinking about it. Yeah, you know, doing stupid shit in real life it would be nice.
Yes,
that would be my priority, but we'll see about that.
Yeah, well, hopefully 2022 will be a good year for all of us.
Fingers crossed.
I hope everyone is staying safe. Hopefully, you know, COVID is gone soon.
Yeah, it just needs to go. Well, I'm done.
Yeah, a lot of people are done. They said show's over, but show's continuing. So, but yeah, I hope everybody's staying safe. I hope everybody has a good New Year's celebration, a safe celebration. Yeah. Please don't do something stupid. Yeah. Don't go to big parties where people are squished together. That's not fun. That's not safe. Keep that mask on. Keep the mask on. Get vaccinated. Stay safe. Think of other people. Oh, you know?
Iman with the empathy.
Thank you. Anyways, as usual, you can find us on our socials. We are on Instagram and Twitter at Talkaholics Pod. You can listen/watch this YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcast app. And yeah, have a great holiday season. And we will see y'all or talk to y'all in the new year.
Yes.
Yes.
Got it.
Got it.
Okay, bye guys.
Okay, bye.